It has been long enough. I have the strength to speak from my heart with immense love and gratitude. On March the 13th, 2024, myself, my sister, and the children experienced a loss unlike no other. My mother never was a fan of funerals, saying they are over-the-top, expensive wastes of time. She would have rathered a party, but given some circumstances at the time of her death, this was not possible. I made a promise to my mother that I would travel around Australia with the circus, and I did. Now I have stopped. I feel her absence stronger now than ever, and I wish to speak of the woman she was to me, her youngest, my best friend, my biggest fan. This is my mother, Robin Julie Lynn. This is who she was to me. My mother often told me the story of why I was born. My sister, 7 years my junior, and her were at a park. My sister was playing by herself. My mother looked around the park and noticed siblings playing together on the equipment, laughing, bickering, just being kids. It made my mother cry. My mum had a difficult upbringing, being the youngest daughter in her family, the black sheep. She stood out, and consequently was pushed aside by her siblings. When she looked at my sister playing by herself, it conjured up emotions of her loneliness, and she wanted my sister to have someone around when she was long gone from this world. So I was born. I'd like to say our upbringing was easy. It was not. But her efforts were there. She struggled through an incredibly frightening divorce and various health complications. As a child, I would often be on the back step with her as she cried, arm around her, promising I'd always be there. Growing up, I had taken a particular interest in dancing. Ballet was my art form of choice. Regardless of her being on welfare, Mum, being a smoker, gave up smoking to be able to afford my classes. She was horrified when I wanted to take up acting too. I never understood the sacrifice then, but I do now. Before she passed, she apologised for the times we had baked beans on toast for dinner. But I was sorry she wasn't eating with us. No matter what the struggle, Mum never let me see it. She wanted me to be happy. And truthfully, I loved baked beans on toast. Her respite from being a mother was in her artworks, a talented artist of watercolour, charcoal, and anything else she could find. She saw the world through a paintbrush, often staying up late at night to finish her new works. But she did always say, "It's not finished yet. I'm not happy with it. I could do more." Her own worst critic. In her later years, you would find her at 3 a.m. listening to ABC Radio's quiz, canvas and paint strewn around the kitchen, her dog Snoop and cat Rosie at her feet, her usual cup of coffee sitting next to a glass of water to wash her brushes. She would laugh when she would dunk them in her coffee by accident. But her arts didn't end there. Given my involvement in the performing arts, Mum began costuming. Before this, she had sewn my school uniforms, fixed buttons, altered pants as I grew, but this would be her first time creating art for the stage. My first acting role was a troublemaker named Fairy Sparkle. She created wings, a wand, and an elaborate tutu from scratch. She literally went from 1 to 100. A seamstress who had now sewn one of the most complex costumes in ballet, and it was magnificent. In the 12 years I was at that studio, year after year, she would sew hundreds of costumes for our recitals, often at the expense of her own health. But why did she do this? Her pride. She took pride in her art, and always pushed herself to achieve greatness. She wanted her costumes to be the best, so she would work tirelessly to achieve it. That's who my mother always was. She was an artist, a dreamer, fiercely competitive, but also a proud member of her community. Her passions extended beyond the arts, protesting what was right. Before she passed, she was spearheading a campaign to stop the redevelopment of the old Corrimal Coke Works for townhouses, in fear it would create dense traffic in a quiet area that was inhabited by native animals. Nature was her peace. Full of knowledge on native plants and animals, her home was a sanctuary for the forgotten, the abused, the injured. Every animal she ever owned was a rescue. Most notably and recently, a rainbow lorikeet she later named Akala. Hit by a car with a shattered beak, she nursed back to health and happiness. Akala would often be visited by the other rainbow lorikeets in the area. They would come right on 4 p.m, and Mum would put out pollen porridge for them all. Akala could not be released into the wild due to her inabilities to fly or eat properly, but Mum assured she still had interaction with her species. My mother was not considered to be so-called normal for her age, refusing to blend in with the mould of society around her. She would much rather wear her rainbow hat and make spirit sticks than be another cog in the system that silences individuality. And this is who I look up to today. I was raised by a woman who embraced the weird, felt every passion, laughed loudly, cried deeply. She was admitting her soul and had zero shame in doing so. No fear of rejection or loneliness. She just wanted to be. To live her life to the fullest, to have an opinion, to have rights. To protect her family, to watch her grandkids grow up. To create, to dance, to stand out. Proud, strong, and free. I have written this to shine a spotlight on a woman who deserved her time to shine. However, it was cut short. At 31, I lost my mother, my best friend, but it taught me something I needed to learn. Through loss, we experience the most intense feeling of love, and now I know what love is. Mum, I will miss you every day. Every time I see a magpie, every time I eat a cheeseburger, every time I hear midnight oil, anytime I smell patchouli. You didn't just give me love. You didn't just give me life. You gave me purpose. I will never forget you, and I hope one day to see you again. I love you. Thank you.
How did that dance go again?